This is the plaintiff, Jay Johnson. He says he and the defendant used to work together, and a louse unloaded his piece of junk 1998 Pontiac on him. That's right, the guy sold him a real lemon, so he gave him back the keys and told him he wanted his money back. The defendant did return some of his money, still owes him $220, and that's why he's here suing him in his courtroom today. This is the defendant, George Schoendorf. He says the car he sold him worked perfectly because he drove it for 2 years without ever having a problem. Just to keep the peace, he agreed to take the car back, and he returned every penny of the plaintiff's money and sold the car to someone else. He doesn't know what kind of fast one the plaintiff's trying to pull by filing this lawsuit, but he's sure the judge will see right through it because he doesn't owe him anything. He's accused of taking advantage of a coworker.
All parties, please use your right hand.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket, the plaintiff sold the defendant a 98 Pontiac, and it was a lemon. But the plaintiff returned it and didn't get the full deposit back. The defendant says the plaintiff drove it for 2 years, and still he took it back, so please, it's the case of the 98 ain't great.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Mr. Johnson, you are suing Mr. Schoendorf for $220 you say he still owes you on the return of a lemon he sold you. Tell me what's going on.
Well, me and Mr. Schoendorf used to work together. He sold me a car on Friday. As soon as I took the car home, the brakes went.
What kind of car?
He sold me a 1998 Bonneville.
Okay.
As soon as I took the car at home.
1998, huh?
Yeah. As soon as I took the car
Old
home.
enough to vote? Maybe old enough to drink? Wow.
The car squirted brake fluid on everywhere, and it had no more brakes. So I called George that night and let him know.
And you felt like he already knew because there was a bottle of brake fluid in the back seat.
In the back of the car.
Okay.
So I'm figuring that he put enough fluid in it to get it down there. And
did he ever tell you anything about it needing brake fluid or that there was something?
Never.
Well, but were you deluding yourself into thinking that a car that is old enough to drink wouldn't have some problems in it that maybe you should have looked at by a mechanic?
Well, I didn't mind doing the rest of the work to it.
What do you mean the rest of the work?
I didn't expect for it to have brake problems.
Well, why is that? I mean, it's going to have some problems. You didn't inspect for any problems. Right, you didn't even get it inspected. You don't know. And then the first problem it had, you didn't even take it in to find out how much it would cost.
I hadn't even took it home.
You just said, whoa, I want my money back. And okay, and that's good because apparently you took the car back.
Yeah.
Right. And you agreed to pay him back how much did he pay for the car?
The car is worth about 12 to 14. Okay. He paid $600 for the car.
Okay, if the car was worth 12 or 13, you better believe you would have sold it for 12 or 13. It's worth what someone will pay you. So apparently it's not God's gift to cars and transportation because he couldn't even make it home in that piece of garbage.
No, he did. He took the car home.
He took the car, and did you make it home?
No.
No, that's what he said.
The brake fluid went all the way. I had to go home. I drove it home. But I had to go with no brakes.
And then what'd you do?
I parked it. I called George.
Okay, they call you the same day you sold it to him?
Later on, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so now that you agreed to take the car back, what did you do with the car?
I sold it to another coworker.
Another coworker, because that went so well the first time.
Well, I offered to fix the brakes for him. That was the first thing.
But it didn't go well the first time. So now you sell it to another coworker,
Yep.
and how much do you sell it for?
$500.
Did that coworker pay you?
Yeah.
Fully?
Yep.
Okay. So you say he did not pay you fully, the $600.
No, he didn't.
How much did he pay you?
He paid me $380.
Okay. And you say what to that?
I paid him 3 different times, $300, $200, and $100. The first week when she gave me $300, came out of her hand to my hand to his hand. Second week, I paid him $200, and then he chased me the last week when he shouldn't even have been at work. Made sure I found a supervisor to say, here, we're done. Here's the last $100. Here's your $600.
Do you have that supervisor here to testify?
No.
Do you have an affidavit from that supervisor to testify that, in fact,
Up until 2 weeks ago, I thought we were done. Until
I know, but you knew before. Nobody kidnapped you and brought you here today, right?
No.
Like you knew you were going to litigate this today. So you don't have a receipt. You say you had a witness who said we're done in front, but you don't bring me anything from that person.
The car was never technically sold to him.
You're not listening to me.
So would you ever sell a 21-year-old car to a coworker?
I mean, if they are willing to buy it, they know what they're getting into. They know it's a 98.
Good idea, bad idea? What do you think?
It's like a bad idea. If you want to stay off the gossip radar at work, don't sell your vehicle, especially if it's 20 years old.
21.
21
But who's counting? Going inside the courtroom.
I don't care about the car anymore. I care that you acknowledge that there was a $600 debt. Mm-hmm. The only contest here is, did you pay it fully?
Yeah.
That's the only contest. He says you didn't. The burden is on you to prove payment. So you have to show me the receipts, show me the check, the canceled check, bring me a witness who says the first payment was $300. He says that the first payment was $180. He says then you gave him $200 after that, and that you still owe him $220. It's such an odd figure to make up. So if you are able, instead of smirking, if you're able to provide proof by having the witnesses who saw you pay him testify or give me an affidavit from them, or having the supervisor, that would be awesome, say, yes, my man said this is the last payment, and Jay said, yes, it is. You know, that would be awesome if you had that. Do you have that?
No.
Oh, okay. Do you guys have texts between each other that...
I do.
You do? Oh, what do you do? Why are you holding out on me? Give me those texts.
I got the can of brake fluid, too, and I'm making...
No, I don't need that. I want the text where he acknowledges that money's still owed. Do you have that?
He wouldn't answer me, so he didn't acknowledge
Okay, well,
it.
that's okay. Well, you text him and he doesn't say, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
One of the things he doesn't do then is say, what are you talking about? I've already paid you.
That's why I brought the car back to him.
Just show me the text.
I'm about to get it. Here you go.
So let's go back. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, the phone's a little broke, George.
That's all right. I have experience looking through cracks on a phone. Here we go. When did you pay him his final payment?
I want to say around October 26th, maybe a week before.
Why do you want to say that?
Because I worked seasonal, so the end of my job was October 26th, and it was before.
When was the beginning of your job?
June 28th.
As you can see, he gave me nothing at October 28th. We wasn't even speaking anymore. My last day was October 5th. He worked.
So on September 28th, you say, yo, George, I'll see you at work since you don't want to answer. I want my money. Can't sell a car with no brakes. Have my money. I'll have your car. So that's at September 28th that don't spend my money. I'm going to give you your keys. I want my money. No questions asked Monday. Don't drive because I'm not taking that car home. I'm taking my plates off. You can take the car. What'd you do? Did you drive the car to work?
I took it back to work. No brakes and all.
Why did you do that?
Because I didn't want it.
I know you didn't want it.
I wanted to make sure
but that's dangerous.
I wanted to make sure
See
he
you
get
Monday.
it back as soon as
possible. So then on
possible.
Sunday, September 30th, George, about the car, what are you going to do? I don't have time to play the silly game of phone tag where you're not answering. Remember, if I don't hear from you today, I'll be leaving your car at work. That's all September 30th. Then on October 1st, when are you going to start giving me my money? If I don't have my money by Monday, I'm going to court and file a lawsuit against you. And you finally answer, this is October 19th, and you finally answer, what money? And he says, my $220. I'm going to call James and let him know. Who's James?
James is his boss.
Okay.
James gave him the car.
So I thought the bosses were going to get angry, but apparently they're doing. Everybody's trying to unload the hot potato. Pay the guy. You know, we're done. Yeah, you have no proof of what you're saying. You don't have a single person to buttress that you finished paying it. The guy goes to the trouble of filing a lawsuit against somebody who he used to work with. You know, he texts you. It's not like you're forthcoming and answering his text. You're ignoring him all the time. You're shady as can be, all right? And then you claim that you have proof that you gave him a final payment and you don't bring it. $220 verdict for the plaintiff.
So the plaintiff is going to finally get his $220 back. Mr. Schoendorf, the judge called you shady. What do you think about that?
It is what it is.
Did you pay him?
Yeah. I know I paid him. He knows I paid him.
Why do you think he would file a lawsuit against you if he knows you paid him? I mean, it's a lot of trouble to go through, don't you think, for $200?
That's what I was trying to figure out.
Well, the assumption is you didn't do it. And that's what the judge thinks.
I know what the truth
Thank
was.
you very much. Okay. Mr. Johnson?
How you doing?
I'm good. How you doing?
Great. George is a very shady character. He know he didn't give me the money, and he probably still won't.
Well, you got the judgment. You know,
All right.
You got the court behind you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good enough.
Good to see you.
Congratulations. Harvey?
Hey, just a word of advice. If you're in a dispute and going back and forth on an email, don't ignore the other person repeatedly.